Planning the perfect Disneyland vacation is quite stressful and can take hours and hours of research. Or you can spend the next 20 minutes to unlock all the secrets for an unforgettable adventure at the happiest place on earth. So relax, I got your back because I've teamed up with Kelly Picanso, a Disneyland planning expert who knows these parks better than anyone I've ever met before, to bring you this ultimate trip planning guide to make your Disneyland vacation magical. Starting off with one of the most important pieces of your Disneyland vacation: when to visit. Planning your Disneyland vacation around the wrong time could really make you have a bad overall experience, and that's not what I want. So the best time to visit for shorter lines and fewer crowds, I recommend aiming for off-peak seasons like mid-January to mid-March, mid-September to mid-November, or non-holiday weekdays. It's always a good idea to skip peak times like summer, spring break, or Christmas when the park is packed. And now it's time for the first of many extra magic tips they're going to find in this video. I always recommend checking Disneyland's ticket calendar online because the higher prices mean the busier days. Doing this is vital for the best possible Disneyland vacation. Seasonal events like Halloween time or holidays at Disneyland add extra magic, however, they do draw bigger crowds, so I recommend always planning ahead. How many days do you need? For first timers, I recommend at least 2 days to enjoy both Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. If you are focusing only on Disneyland Park, 1 full day can work with a solid plan, but 2 days give you time to soak in the magic without rushing. Extra magic tip: if you're trying to do both parks, I recommend 3 days to experience everything both parks offer, because they each offer a ton of great attractions that you're not going to want to miss. And more time in the park means extra time to see the shows, more relaxed dining, and repeat rides. Where to stay? Location is key. Staying at a Disneyland Resort hotel like the Grand Californian or Disneyland Hotel comes with perks like early entry, 30 minutes before the park opens. These hotels are pricey though, but they are worth it because they're so nice and the location is great. For budget-friendly options, you're going to find a ton of hotels within a mile or two from the parks. Extra magic tip: I always recommend booking early to score package deals that bundle tickets with hotels for better savings. Which brings me to ticket options and park hopping. Tickets start out about $104 for a single day, with prices varying by the date and the demand. Multi-day tickets do save you more per day. I always recommend purchasing tickets through the Disneyland website and make park reservations right after, because reservations do fill up fast. Now, if you only have 1 day to enjoy the parks, then I recommend sticking to Disneyland Park because of the classic vibe and all the great family attractions. For 2 or more days, then you definitely want to park hop because the parks are literally just steps away from each other. Which brings me to a very important piece of this video, because I know a lot of you watching right now are thinking, I cannot plan a trip to Disneyland. I do not know enough about how to do that. Well, the good news is I'm here to help. Because the truth is, planning a trip to Disneyland can feel very overwhelming and it's very stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Now, I'm not a travel advisor, so I'm passing you on to my friend Kelly Picanso, a Disneyland planning expert with We Do Travel Right. Kelly crafts personalized itineraries whether you want a luxurious stay at the Grand Californian or a budget-friendly option. Now the best part is, Kelly's services are 100% free and she will handle the stress so you can focus more on the fun. So if you need any help at all, I highly recommend contacting Kelly via her quick quote form that's linked below for a magical, hassle-free trip. How to have the best day. Now that you are fully prepared for your Disneyland Resort adventure, I've split up the next part of my ultimate trip planning guide into 2 sections: Disneyland Park and Disney's California Adventure. Trust me, these theme park guides are going to make your day so much better. You're going to find over 40 rides and attractions at the Disneyland Park, but here are the top 11 must-ride attractions that I do not want you to miss out on. Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. This is an epic, immersive adventure with battles and massive sets. This ride is perfect for any Star Wars fan, or even if you don't like Star Wars, this ride is awesome. With that said, just be prepared for longer lines because this ride is one of the most popular in the park. Indiana Jones Adventure, which is a thrilling Jeep ride to a cursed temple. This awesome dark ride is a Disneyland must, and once you ride it, you're going to understand why. Space Mountain. This high-speed roller coaster in the dark offers cosmic effects, quick turns, and a lot of drops. And believe it or not, the ride does feel like it's much faster and taller than it really is, but it really is a small family coaster, and this ride is a Disneyland icon. Pirates of the Caribbean, a classic boat ride that is filled with pirates and a bunch of other surprises along the way. Pirates of the Caribbean really is a fan favorite. The Haunted Mansion, a spooky, fun ghost tour, is highly regarded as one of the best attractions at the park, and I absolutely love it, and I know you will as well. Tiana's Bayou Adventure. The retheme of Splash Mountain offers a vibrant new look with the same great layout and drops. But the best part is you really don't get very wet on this attraction. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This wild mine train coaster offers multiple lift hills, tunnels, and a layout that offers a fantastic roller coaster experience. The Matterhorn Bobsleds, a historic coaster with the Yeti encounters that is fun for the whole entire family. And the best part is, the ride offers two sides, so try to ride both if you can. Peter Pan's Flight. This classic dark ride takes you on an adventure with Peter Pan. This ride is so much fun for all ages. Now, if you are feeling a little bit adventurous, then you'll want to check out the Jungle Cruise, which is a boat tour through exotic rivers, and you get to look out and see some awesome animatronic animals, and your boat tour guide is part of the fun for this attraction. And last but not least is the Disneyland Monorail, a classic ride for a full Disneyland experience. You're going to get great views of the park as well as downtown Disney from the monorail. Extra magic tip. For the major attractions like Rise of the Resistance, the Matterhorn Bobsled, Space Mountain, and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, I always recommend using the lightning lanes for it because it's going to really help you out line-wise. Which brings me to lightning lane tips. Now, if you're like me and you do not like waiting in long lines with young kids, then you want to beat the lines, trust me. And Lightning Lane Multi-Pass lets you book return times for rides like Space Mountain or the Haunted Mansion via the Disneyland app. Book as soon as you enter the park and stack reservations every 2 hours or so after using the first one. For Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, grab a separate Lightning Lane single pass because they do sell out fast. Yes, unfortunately this is separate. You have to have this on top of the regular Lightning Lane. Now, if you are visiting Disneyland on a budget, then I recommend using the standby lines but get to the rides right when the park first opens or later at night. Or use the single rider lines because a lot of the attractions do offer them. Now, this next one is vital for your experience, the Disneyland app. Seriously, this app is a game changer. Download it before your trip and link all your tickets to it. The app is great to check real-time wait times, book Lightning Lane, mobile food orders, find character meet and greets, access park maps, and view your PhotoPass photos. Extra magic tip. I recommend bringing a portable phone charger with you because your phone's going to be busy taking all your photos throughout the day, videos, as well as using it for lightning lanes and wait times. Now, with all this fun that you're having in the park, you're going to want to find the best places to eat. This is why I asked Kelly for her top dining picks at Disneyland Park, and she recommends the Blue Bayou in New Orleans Square. Now, this restaurant is located right by the Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's a great place to grab a bite to eat and has a great vibe. Cafe Orleans, which is also located in New Orleans Square, serves tasty dishes and is a great overall spot. Now, you're really going to love this one, the Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe, a Mary Poppins themed spot on Main Street for delicious treats. I mean, how good does this look? And finally, Carnation Cafe, which offers classic American fare, which is located right on Main Street, USA as well. Extra magic tip. I recommend using mobile ordering to skip the food lines, and you can even book reservations for full service restaurants in advance. Now you cannot visit the most magical place on earth without meeting a character or two at the park. And you can find Mickey, Minnie, and princesses on Main Street USA, Fantasyland, or Mickey's Toontown. I always recommend checking the Disneyland app for real-time locations and times. Popular characters can have 30-minute waits or more, so hit them early or during the parades. For a stress-free option, I recommend booking character dining at the Plaza Inn or Goofy's Kitchen at the Disneyland Hotel. Extra magic tip: character dining is very popular, so I always recommend booking out in advance, but it's nice because the characters come to you and you get to eat and enjoy it. Now before I get to my Disneyland plan of attack, if you're enjoying this video or finding it to be helpful in any way, then all I ask you to do is please take 1 second and give the video a like. That is by far the best way that you can help support my channel, and I really do appreciate each like. Which brings me to my Disneyland plan of attack. This plan is designed to make your Disneyland day the best one ever. Starting off with arriving early. Get to the gates at least 60 minutes before opening, especially if you're staying at a Disneyland Resort hotel for early entry. Now normally on my plan of attacks for other parks, I would say always purchase tickets in advance, but since Disneyland does offer the reservation system, you're already going to be having tickets in place and the reservation before you show up for the day. Which brings me to rope drop. I recommend heading straight to a headliner attraction like Star Wars, Rise of the Resistance, or Indiana Jones for shorter waits. As soon as you're in, I recommend grabbing a lightning lane for a top ride. Monitor wait times. Always use the app to find wait times with 15 minutes or shorter so you can maximize your time enjoying the rides and less waiting. Now this one's very important. Avoid peak lunch hours. I recommend skipping eating from 11:30 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. because that's the time the restaurants will be the busiest. This is why I recommend using this time to ride instead of eat. Afternoon break. It's always a good idea to recharge with a snack, find a bench or table to sit down and relax, and then plan your remaining must-do rides. Now this tip is very beneficial. Use a Disneyland Railroad. You can save energy by riding between Main Street, New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. It's always great to get off your feet for a few minutes and take in the views from the railroad. Now you cannot go to Disneyland and not experience one of their parades. So whatever time the parade is during the day, I highly recommend making time to go see it. Evening magic. I don't know about you, but I love staying late for the shorter wait times and seeing the nighttime shows like Fantasmic or the fireworks when they are scheduled to be taking place. Enjoy night rides. I recommend riding the Matterhorn and or the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at night for extra thrills. Now that you know everything you need to know about Disneyland Park, let's dive into everything you need to know about Disney's California Adventure to ensure that you also have an unforgettable day over at that park. With so many awesome attractions that you're going to find located inside the park, the question that I get asked a lot is, which ones are the not to be missed ones? So here are the must-ride attractions that you will want to experience at Disney's California Adventure. Grizzly River Run. Climb into an 8-person raft for a thrilling journey down Grizzly River Run, drifting past rustic relics of an old mining camp before rumbling up Grizzly Peak for a heart-pounding plunge. And yes, in case you're wondering, you will get wet and possibly drenched. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. This thrilling rescue mission is one of the best thrill rides along the West Coast. Experience jaw-dropping special effects, beloved characters, heart-pounding freefall drops, and 6 unique storylines for an epic adventure packed with massive thrills. Incredicoaster. Get ready to enjoy this awesome launch coaster that offers hills, twists and turns, and a huge vertical loop. And here's another reason why you have to ride this incredible coaster. Did you know that it's the longest roller coaster in North America that's west of the Mississippi? The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure. Catch a ride on a vibrant Claymobile and dive into the enchanting world of The Little Mermaid, filled with unforgettable music and magical moments. Just don't forget to wave to the beloved characters like Ariel. Toy Story Mania. Dive into the fun at Toy Story Mania, where Andy's toys take over for a wild 3D carnival adventure. grab your spring action launcher and fire at moving targets alongside Buzz, Woody, Jessie, and friends, competing for the top score in this action-packed game. Soarin' around the world. Come find out why this is one of the top rated attractions that you're going to find at Disneyland California Resort. It's awesome. Pixar Pal Around. Hop on this 150-foot tall Ferris wheel that will provide you beautiful views of the surrounding area. Now what's really cool about this attraction is that you get to choose between a swinging gondola for an extra wild ride where you will be swaying and sliding on interior rails, or you can opt for the non-swingy one for a calmer ride. This is a must ride for the views alone. Now this attraction's really unique but a ton of fun. The Golden Zephyr. Climb aboard this old school style ride that soars around, letting your imagination rocket you between the stars in an unforgettable cosmic journey. Radiator Springs Racers. Buckle up for a high-octane adventure on Radiator Springs Racers, speeding through the vibrant Radiator Springs. Join Lightning McQueen as you zoom past Red Rock vistas, over hills, and around thrilling turns in a race where everyone feels like a champion. Extra magic tip. Hit these early or use Lightning Lane to skip the longer waits. And speaking of Lightning Lane, here's some great tips for you. If you want to beat the lines, then you're going to want to pick up the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass, which lets you book return times for rides like Soarin' or Incredicoaster via the Disneyland app. As soon as you enter the park, you can begin making reservations. For Radiator Springs Racers, grab a separate Lightning Lane single pass before they sell out. Now if you're visiting on a budget, then I highly recommend getting there really early, and as soon as the park opens, head to the standby lines for your favorite attractions and then wait till later in the night. Extra magic tip, the single rider lines. This awesome benefit can be found on rides like Soarin' and Incredicoaster and a bunch of others. It's a great hack to skip the longer waits. With all this fun you're going to be having at Disneyland's California Adventure, you're bound to get hungry. This is why I asked Kelly for her top dining picks at the park, and she recommends Lamplight Lounge. Not only is the food really great here, but the stunning waterfront views is where it's at. Eating here any time of the day is a great choice, but there's something about eating here for brunch that just stands out. Pym's Test Kitchen. Ant-Man and the Wasps use Pym particles to serve up innovative, shrink, and grow dishes like oversized entrees and tiny treats in a quick service lab, perfect for feeling your heroic hunger. Cocina Cucamonga. If you are visiting and feel like feasting on some delicious tacos, then this is your place. I mean seriously, how could one say no to these? Carthay Circle Restaurant. If you're visiting the park and celebrating a special occasion, then you'll love everything about this place. I just recommend booking reservations in advance. Extra magic tip. I always recommend using the mobile ordering to skip food lines and book reservations for full service restaurants in advance. Which brings me to character meet and greets. Now, meeting characters is pure Disney magic, and you can find all your favorite characters, including the Marvel characters, at select locations all around Disney's California Adventure. I recommend checking the Disneyland app for real-time locations and times. Popular characters can have upwards of a 30-minute wait, so for a stress-free option, it's a good idea to book character dining so you can enjoy some great food and the characters come to you. And now it's time for my Disneyland's California Adventure plan of attack, which is my plan to make your day the best one ever. Arrive early. Get to the gates at least 60 minutes before opening, especially if you're staying at the Disneyland Resort for early entry. Rope drop. Head straight to the headliner like Radiator Springs Racers or Guardians of the Galaxy. At the same time, book Lightning Lane. As soon as you're inside the park, grab a Lightning Lane for another top ride. Monitor wait times. Use the app to find rides that have a 15-minute or less wait. And this one is extremely important. Avoid peak lunch hours. I recommend skipping eating from 11:30 a.m. until about 1:30 p.m. because that's when the restaurants are the busiest. This is why I say during that time period, ride instead of eat. Afternoon break. Recharge with a snack and then plan your remaining must-do rides. pace yourself. While you're not going to find as many things to do as you will over at Disneyland, there are still a ton of attractions to see and experience at Disney's California Adventure, which is why I recommend pacing yourself. Evening magic. It's always a great idea to stay late for shorter wait times, especially during the World of Color Happiness show. While the show really is fantastic and I do recommend seeing it, if you wanted to snag a few night rides with shorter waits, then this would be the ideal time to do so. I'm talking rides like Guardian, Radiator Springs, and the Incredicoaster. Now that wraps up my trip planning guide to Disneyland California. If you have any questions or need any help whatsoever when it comes to planning your trip, don't forget to reach out to Kelly because she will plan you the perfect trip for free. Now outside of Disneyland California, there's so many other great attractions to see and do. In the showcase video at the bottom of your screen, I break down some of the best attractions besides theme parks that you're going to want to check out while you're in Southern California. With that being said, I would love to know, when is your trip to Disneyland? Be sure to let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, be adventurous, and never stop traveling.